Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. In Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar yesterday promoted Gary Griffith, her former National Security Advisor, to the post of National Security Minister, fired 2 ministers, and reshuffled and split the portfolios of several United National Congress frontliners in her third cabinet reshuffle. Griffith, who replaced Emmanuel George, former State Board Chairman Gerald Hadid, and one-time Senator Razia Ahmed, will be brought into the Parliament as People's Partnership Senators. Persad-Bissessar, in announcing the 3 additions and other changes before colleagues at her St. Clair Port of Spain office yesterday, said it was a move towards a reinvigorated government. This ushers in a new era of my government, said the Prime Minister, adding she wanted to fast-track delivery and development. She says, I can assure you that no one will escape scrutiny of his or her performance and satisfaction of the public interest. This is lift-off time, launch of the most aggressive development and progressive period of governance in Trinidad and Tobago's history. The Prime Minister also said of the changes, every single member listed here has been advised of the accelerated progress expected in each area for which they are responsible. She goes on to say performance reviews will be conducted on a regular basis and if necessary further changes will be made. Citizens will also have an opportunity to make opinions known through the National Conversation platform. The Prime Minister removed Jamal Mohammed from the Communications Ministry after he served a year and Christlyn Moore from the Justice Ministry. Moore was brought in last September to replace Herbert Volney, who was fired over the Section 34 issue. Mohammed was replaced by former Airports Authority Chairman Hadid and Moore by George. Griffith was a captain in the Army and was also a high profiler with the previous UNC administrations. He subsequently joined the COP, returned to the UNC in 2010, only to resign again in June. The Prime Minister said Griffith was familiar with the government's plans for national security and had been advisor to the National Security Council. She said she wanted someone with a military background to drive national security projects. Saying George had been an interim security minister, the Prime Minister said he had been excellent in that area and had the skills for his new portfolio as Justice Minister. Persad-Bissessar appointed Ahmed to the post of Minister of State in the Ministry of Gender, Youth and Child Development. Ahmed, an insurance executive, had served in the Senate during 2000 to 2007. Ahmed will function alongside Clifton de Courtier, who was switched from Ministry of National Diversity and Social Integration to head Gender, Youth and Child Development. Replacing de Courtier to head the Diversity Ministry is COP MP Roger Samuel, who has been promoted from his position as Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister. Samuel last month had threatened to resign, then embarked on a fast for Trinidad and Tobago. The COP had lobbied for him to be given bigger responsibilities, party officials said yesterday. The Prime Minister also split the ministries of UNC frontliners Suraj Rambajan and Rudal Munilal and shifted Chandresh Sharma. Rambajan lost local government to Marlene Kudre, who formerly held Gender, Youth and Child Development. Rambajan retained the Works Ministry. Munilal's Mega Ministry of Housing, Land and Marine Affairs was divided with former Minister of State Jairam Simangal. Munilal retained Housing and Urban Development, while Simangal, formerly a junior minister in food production, was promoted to Minister of Land and Marine Resources. Sharma was shifted from Transport to Tourism, while Tourism Minister Stephen Cadiz was made Transport Minister. The other portfolios remain untouched. Persad-Bissessar yesterday insisted there was no cabal in the government and no one advisor on who to hire or fire. In the news from Grenada, 7 months after being returned to office in a landslide victory, the new National Party government in Grenada is said to be making good progress. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, who told a constituency forum that positive developments are taking place. Mitchell said that government is working in the interest of all and that the future is pretty encouraging. And I quote, "If we attempt to listen to all our supporters and their demands, the country will be smashed up, and I am not going to be responsible for smashing up Grenada," he says. He assured the people at the forum and the country at large that his government is working for the social and economic development of Grenada. He says, we are going to solve the problems, we are going to show an understanding for the pain and suffering of the people, but we are going to do it with compassion and love, but also with a practical approach. I want us to understand this," he said, indicating that the country is making a lot of progress. He took issue with the previous administration, which he said was unable to stimulate economic activities and were actually selling the country's assets monthly to pay salaries. Mitchell boasted that his administration has been performing as worthy professionals. The Prime Minister indicated that government has been working especially in the interest of the poor and less fortunate. 3 months after being shot in the back, Port of Spain resident Namki Davis died on Monday. Reports are that 22-year-old Davis of East Dry River was with a group of friends when gunmen opened fire on them at Pleasant Terrace, John Laventille. Davis of Sunset Place, East Dry River, was warded at the Port of Spain General Hospital. However, he was discharged sometime later with the bullet left inside, with doctors advising that it was too close to his spine to be removed. David was rushed to the hospital on Sunday and died Monday morning. His death is being classified as a murder, pushing the toll to 263 for the year. In the Bahamas, a man was shot and killed on Wednesday night, becoming the 11th person murdered in the Bahamas in 12 days. Police said the man was shot shortly before 10 p.m. Details are still sketchy up to press time. Police also reported that a teenager was shot and killed during a game of backgammon on Wednesday afternoon. Police also confirmed that a man who was shot on Tuesday died in hospital early Wednesday morning. He was identified as Alexander Joseph, 20 years of age. Regarding the murder on Wednesday afternoon, police said the victim was playing backgammon with a group of men shortly before 2 p.m. when he got into an altercation with one of the men. The victim was shot several times in the chest, police said. He died on the scene. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson appealed for anyone with information regarding this murder to come forward. These latest incidents pushed the murder count to 80 for the year. 4 people died between Friday and Monday after they were shot in separate incidents on New Providence, police reported previously. You're watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
Excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. This your boy Wyclef Jean, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.